Welcome to this video on the preparation and packing of personal equipment for NCOs. In this video, I'll be going through the contents of my bergan, highlighting some items that might make your life more comfortable in the field if you could decide to continue your career in the cadets or into the regular army. As you can see, the bergan I'm using this time is more complex than a simple main pouch with two side pouches and a lid. This is the Rush 72. I don't have a lid, but what I do have is still a main compartment, two side pouches, a front pouch to replace the lid, and also lots of internal compartments where I can store some smaller items. I'll start with the outside of the bergan. On the outside, I'm carrying two extendable basher poles. These lightweight aluminium poles can be extended and used to support a basher or shelter sheet in the event that you don't have sufficient trees. With two of these, I can quickly make an A-frame shelter either out in the open or in an area without tree support, and I can be comfortable and warm and dry for an evening in the field. Also on the outside, I have my basher or shelter sheet. Unlike in the basic video where I recommended everything was stuffed into pouches in bulk, this time I've segregated separate items and put them into either waterproof bags or into compression stuff sacks. In this bag, I have my basher or shelter sheet. What I've done with my basher is on the four corners, I have permanently attached my bungees. That way, all I need to do is take my basher out of the bag, spread it out, and I already have four bungees attached in the corners. In the centre and at the ends, I have also rolled a small bit of cord. This way, with minimal fuss, I can quickly erect a shelter and I can start about my personal admin. Going on to the very front pouch then. In the front pouch, as I mentioned earlier, are lots of smaller compartments. In these compartments I can separate my kit, which makes it much easier for storage, but it also makes it much easier to find things when I need them. In the front long pouch, I have a head torch. I also have spare batteries. This time, instead of carrying batteries in the original cardboard packet, I have a product called Power Packs that allows me to carry and separate my spare batteries. Put them in one way if the battery is fully charged, put them in upside down if it's discharged. That way I always know how many fresh batteries I have. Also in this pouch, I have a selection of cutlery. I have a long handled aluminium spoon, which is perfect for eating out of the Rat Pack foil bags without getting my fingers dirty. I also have an aluminium knife and an aluminium spork. This is useful whenever we get container meals delivered where actually we need a knife and a fork to cut and eat the food in the field. Also in this front main pouch, I have a number of other items. I have a power bank and USB lead for charging my phone. I have an emergency foil blanket, either for me or for a casualty should they need extra warmth. I also have a folding bushcraft saw. This saw is good if we need to clear some wood or forested area when setting up our harbour or shelter. I also have a selection of spare earplugs, either for myself to get at sleep at night or during a blank firing exercise. And in the very small top compartment, this is where I have some creams. I have sun cream and I have insect repellent, essential during the Easter and the summer months when out on exercise. Also in this pouch, I have a mosquito head net. This will just help keep the bugs and insects away from my face when I'm in a harbour area. Remember, harbour areas are often in damp, dark forests, the breeding ground for mosquitoes and other insects. And that's my front compartment. Moving on to the top, I have another small pouch. In here, I have a small waterproof bag containing matches, a lighter, a second smaller emergency head torch, a whistle, and a small penknife. These are items which I'm keeping separate but would normally be carried in my smock. Coming on to the main compartment itself then. The main compartment is typically used for your sleeping system and also for your spare clothes, perhaps any warm kit, and any spare rations that you may have. The beauty about this bag is I don't have to access the bergan from the top, but I can zip out the whole front of the bergan and access everything that's inside it. At the top, I have my spare rations. This time, instead of carrying my spare rations in a sandwich bag, I have a mesh camouflaged bag which allows me to keep my rations, any spare fuel. It's flexible, I can fold it, I can stuff it in my bag, and I know where my food is. It's kept together. Just as before, I have my sleeping bag in my bivvy bag or sleeping bag cover. This is compressed, it's in the sleeping bag cover, which allows it to remain waterproof, and because of that fact, I've decided this time not to waterproof the whole main pouch, just the individual items as I need. I then have an item of warm clothes, and this time, instead of stuffing it in, I've used a separate stuff sack. I have an MTP insulated snug pack jacket. I then have my spare clothes. Instead of having sandwich bags, because I may be going out for more than one night, I'm carrying my spare clothes in a waterproof stuff sack. In here, as well as just a spare t-shirt, pair of boxers and socks, which I've rolled up, I also have some thermal layers. I have a thermal merino wool top and pair of long johns. These can either be worn under my clothes for warmth during the day, or if I change out of damp clothes that I've been wearing during the day, I can wear these in my sleeping bag, and these will give me dry clothes and extra warmth in the sleeping bag. Another luxury item that you might want to consider is a pair of sleeping bag slippers. These ones have a hard waterproof sole, an insulated top, and what this means is when I return to my basha or my sleeping bag in the evening, I can take off my boots, my feet may be wet, I can change my socks, powder my feet, put on some dry socks, and put on these slippers, and they will still allow me to carry on with my personal admin in the harbour area without having to wear my wet boots. Another item that I have in the main pouch of my bergan is a jet boil. We are all used to the Dragon Gel alcohol stoves, but just having something like this, a large, slightly bulkier item, carried in our bergan, is great if we just need to boil up some water, if we need to cook one, perhaps two boil in the bag pouches really quickly before we go off to prepare some orders or depart on a patrol. So carrying something like a jet boil or even a gas stove to use with your mess tins is a real luxury item, and you will feel the value of it later. You may have noticed that I haven't currently got a sleeping mat. That's because I've opted for a lightweight inflatable sleeping mat. This mat will fold out to the same size as a roll or folded foam mat. It's inflated, and once filled with air will keep me insulated from the ground, whether that be the forest floor or the cold concrete of a building. They're slightly expensive items. You can get them in different sizes that fold up and roll up to different sizes. However, the added insulation that they give will really reap reward in the colder months. And it then brings me on to two of the inside mesh pouches. In the top mesh pouch, I have a small inflatable pillow. This is used just for added comfort when I'm in my basha and in my sleeping bag. If you get a good night's sleep in the harbour area, you will be in much better form the next day, and you'll be able to operate much more efficiently. I also have a number of other hygiene items, and these are from the Rat Pack. We have alcohol-free antibacterial wipes for washing our hands, and we also have tissues in replacement of toilet roll if we're using portaloos or in the field. And that brings me on to my wash kit. As before, we carried a packet of baby wipes. You can get different types of wipes. You can get exfoliating skin cleansing wipes, which are much easier for taking off cam cream if you have cam cream in your face, and also for cleaning your body. I then have a small wash kit, the contents of which I'll go through in a separate video. But in this wash kit, I want to have a small towel for drying myself off. I want to have some soap or some detergent for perhaps washing my hair or washing my body and feet if I get a chance. I also want some talc or fruit powder for powdering off and talcing my feet once I've washed them. And then along with the usual toothbrush and toothpaste. Finally then, coming on to the two side pouches. In these side pouches, just like before, I'm going to have my waterproofs and any warm kit. And in here, I've got a pair of lightweight MTP trousers and a waterproof top. I also then have a small pair of insulating gloves. They pack up very small and they keep my hands warm. Moving on to the final pouch at the side. This is then where I'm going to keep the remainder of my Basha building gear, along with any additional items. It could be spare water, it could be spare food, or any other items that you can't fit in your main pouch or you need ready access to. This time, instead of putting them loose in my bag, I have another stuff sack. And in this stuff sack, I have my pegs, as well then as lots of paracord and bungees for erecting my Basha in the field. So there we have it. Here I have all the items I need to be comfortable in the field for one or more nights. The use of a separate bag with lots of compartments and pouches means I have ready access to everything if I need. And it also gives me extra capacity to carry some luxury items. And with a clever selection of items, you can carry things such as gas stoves, inflatable sleeping mats. Keep an eye out for the other videos where I'll be going through the contents of my webbing, as well as some personal administration in the field.